Welcome to Samutsari, Conversations with Mimi, a weekly podcast by Dinosocial, also a member of the Gorilla Podcast Syndicate. Samutsari is where we can show that ordinary people do extraordinary things. Tune in to be entertained and to learn something new with your host, Mimi Lorilla.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Samutsari Conversations with Mimi. I am your host, Mimi Laurilia, and obviously, I really wish to thank you all for continuously supporting Samutsari Conversations with Mimi, a podcast featuring topics and other topics for men and women alike. As you know, in this program, we feature guests who share their passion, commitment with the profession or talents. We share stories to inspire you. They also inspire me, stories from ordinary people who make extraordinary things. And as we know, in keeping with the true spirit of Samutsari, we occasionally divert from season 2. And season 2 is all about people who work online. This person is not necessarily working online, pero very inspiring po talaga yung story niya. And he's been recently awarded because of this achievement that he obviously earned. So we will ask him about that. Pero at the moment, I want to introduce to you our special guest for today, Mr. Christopher Vila. Tama ba? Christopher Vila? Christopher Vila. Christopher.
Vila.
Christopher Vila. Pero tawag ko sa kanya Chris. Okay lang ba yun,
Yes.
Chris?
That's okay.
Chris, welcome to Samutsari and thank you for being available today. Obviously,
thank you
our
for
show
having
is
me.
an online show, so we don't say good day, we don't say good morning, good evening. Anybody can listen to us anytime. And
Yes.
Chris, I'm really thankful that you're here. I know you're a busy person. Pero Chris, can you tell just to give us a bit of a background about yourself? Nasaan ka ba ngayon? Ba't ba kita ini-interview? At ano ang ginagawa mo dyan sa kinaroroonan mo? Okay, ikaw na ang mag-reveal sa ating mga listeners and viewers.
Basically, I'm here in New Zealand right now. Doing dairy farming. It's my 13th season of dairy farming here in New Zealand. So I've been managing for the past 7 years in this farm, just located about 20 kilometers away from Hamilton, which is that town is called Ohaupo. It's basically a farming community. So this is my first managerial job. And ever since I got this job, I've stuck on it. Like, yeah.
It's stuck
Sort
by
of.
choice or is stuck by parang ano ba yan? Sinakal ka ba para ma-stuck ka dyan?
It's basically by choice because as the location wise, most people of course know that farming. She said farming it's in sometimes it's in the middle of nowhere or something like
That's
that.
right.
But me, I'm basically farming, like I'm just 10 15 minutes away from Hamilton, 10 15 minutes away from Cambridge and Tiawamutu, and about an hour and a half away from Auckland. So it's basically a good location to do dairy farming.
Yeah.
So it's very advantageous, and most of all, I've got a very supportive owners. So why the need to to find something else, not unless there are other better opportunities. But for now, the opportunity is here, and my family is happy. That's the most important thing anyway.
Alam mo, Chris, I have so many questions to ask dyan pa lang based on what you just said. Just to give you an idea, my husband also went to New Zealand as an OFW. He went to
Yes.
a farm. He was also a dairy farming assistant in Otautau at the bottomest part of
Oh,
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, that's in the Southland.
Yes, but for people who don't know, Hamilton is in the northern
Upper North, yes.
Upper North Island. We just
North,
have this
yeah.
idea that more farming opportunities are available in the South Island. Yung pala, there are also opportunities available in the northern part of New Zealand. So let's backtrack a bit. before you decided to go to New Zealand, what was your profession in the Philippines? Are you an agriculturist? Because my husband is a graduate of UPLB, beef cattle, animal
Uh,
science. What's your
uh, uh,
major?
um, uh, I'm basically a double degree. I was animal husbandry and a licensed veterinarian back in the Philippines. So I worked after graduation and passing the board exam. I worked. I had a stint in a feed company, which is the Sanjin Philippines, and became area manager of Cagayan. And of course, I also do some vet stuff like small animal practice in all sorts. And then after a year and a half, I moved here in New Zealand as a visitor
Ah,
because basically
okay.
my sister and my brother-in-law were already here dairy farming because they're also a graduate. My brother-in-law is a animal science graduate in UPLB too, and yeah, they were skilled migrant here when they arrived here, and then after a few years, they asked me to come and basically just to visit. But of course, as Filipinos, we have intentions. But me, I really don't, I don't mind
At
because
that time they invited you, you did not think na merong opportunity. And then when you
this
returned, naisip mo, "O, sige na nga, I will
no
continue to
when
apply."
I know there's an opportunity, but I don't mind if if I don't make it or what, because I'm basically single, fresh graduates. You can do whatever you wanna do,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and everything is free flowing and stuff. So they said, why don't you try it? And so I tried. Luckily, yeah, there are a lot of workers that was needed back then. That was 2008, I think, in the industry. So I applied for in an agency basically which are looking for farm assistant. So yeah, that's all where it started. So yeah,
Yeah. I
and
think that was
then
about the same time then that we went to New Zealand, around that 2008 timeline. So I'm not
yes,
really surprised. But your journey is, I think, so much quicker because you're just fresh out of university with some work experience. But my
yes,
husband had decided to move to New Zealand to through an agency as well because of a young family. Ikaw single eh, 'di ba? You can do anything. You
mm.
can go anywhere.
Kaya nga,
Vet
yes,
schools are
that's
really
why,
very dear. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I got, during starting dairy farming, it was so hard for me because I started from the bottom, and then my expectations would be more than that because of course I'm a licensed vet, and back home you're the one who's telling you, you do this, you do that, you do this. But the reality here, they're the one who's telling you, and because you lack the Kiwi experience, which is very very high in New Zealand.
Yeah.
No matter what you finished or what, they don't recognize it anyway.
That's right.
So yeah, that's one of the struggles of like us professionals coming into first world country like this, and being an OFW of you know um yeah,
So
it it
how
felt
was
like
that experience like for you, Chris? Imagine you're a vet, you know animals, but life in the farm full time, you do the dirty work. Like literally, you do the dirty work. You're
yeah,
always in the field. I know
yeah,
how it
basic.
feels like. Yeah. So how did you adjust? How many heads of cattle were you looking after, and how many of you are in your team? Because when my
uh,
husband
uh
arrived in New Zealand, he was the only one in 500 cows. So how are you going to deal with that? Yeah. Tell us your
eh,
story.
on my first job, I was working in a 1200 cow farm, but it was basically four of us plus the managers of five. One, two, three, no, four of us. And then yeah, and then all I did was milk cows, go get the cows in, do the dirty stuff, carry the cows, do the weeds, do the fencing, and those basic stuff. So yeah, so that's why it was a struggle because I know something, but of course you can't share it or something like that because they don't even believe that you know it. So I just keep my mouth shut and then just observe.
Very, very typical.
but
Pero despite
but
the hirap, yeah, but okay.
but in saying so, along the way, the process is there. You learn. It's that even simple things can can make a difference. So due to those experiences, like you think that it's basically nonsense, but
Mm.
at the end of the day, if you're in that position now, like in a management position, that those little details are the one you're looking for
Mm.
your workers to know it, because it make a really really big difference.
Mm.
So basically, when I step up on the rank, I slowly um appreciate those little things. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically like a wonder that it does it does make the difference.
Yeah. So let's talk about your transition. So at one point, did you know that you are ready to transition into a managerial role? And how
It
did
took
that happen? How did that happen? Because a lot of dairy farm assistants think now there's no way up. You're just a dairy farm assistant. And if you become a manager, baka makailangan mo pa ng local qualifications or you must be doing more to earn that role.
yeah. Actually, before it's harder because they don't have we're foreigners and they really basically don't trust you. In my position too. It took me 6 years before I found a job, and I almost quit farming because of it. Because no, it's even with all the resume or all my CVs, and that I know what I'm talking about. It's hard to find someone that will trust you or something like that for you to step up. It's true, it's a struggle, pero you just need to keep fighting. You just need to keep being different from others, like keep proving keep proving to others that you really are competitive, which
Mhm.
is very hard to do.
Mhm.
So it's a sometimes it's a I don't I can say if it's a luck or what, but sometimes if you pray for it, it comes to you.
Mhm.
So I believe on that. So yeah, I prayed a lot during those times for me to overcome those struggles. But yeah, until I got that managerial job. But what you said was really true, that it's really hard to penetrate the managerial position, especially before.
Mhm.
For me, it took me 6 years and 3 farms before I got this job.
Wow. So
And
in
yeah,
that way, Chris, are you saying that there are very, very rare Filipinos in managerial positions in
it's
farms
not
in New Zealand?
really right now. It's not rare anymore because you know a lot of owners are starting to know the capabilities of the Filipinos now. Like during the industry awards, of course, you meet with the owners, the share milkers. They know how hard Filipino work, and
Mm.
they know they are capable. So it's not easy right now, but they they give more opportunities now, especially for like not only Filipinos but for others to step up, and they know that they're already up to it. But yeah, there are still some farmers that are old school and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but before, it was really hard, I think,
Mm.
in my
Mm.
opinion,
Mm.
because I find it hard, really hard to find a really good job. But if there let's say there's a job position that in a managerial position, is available and give it to you. But sometimes they see you as a lower like on the lower quartile of the the managers, where in of course you get lower pay,
Mm.
where and all sorts of things, because they don't know if you are capable or not. So it's just about proving yourself.
Mhm.
If you got opportunity, that's why my mentality is, if the opportunity comes, you just grab it and give your best and prove yourself.
Yeah,
So
it's good that you have the right mindset. So let's go back to this award. Can you explain or describe to us what this important award you recently got and how did you get it? Kasi hindi
um,
lahat nabibigyan ng parangal, or if you don't call it parangal, at least yung recognition, recognition
ba-
for your efforts.
yeah, let's say basically the New Zealand Dairy Industry Award is the most prestigious award in the dairy industry for all categories, like trainees, managers, and share milkers, which is already been like here for the past 30 odd years. So it was introduced to me like I have no like vision or goal of joining it, basically, because I I think I don't have the guts to do it before. And I think they could, it's just something. But there's it was introduced to me by one of the LIC, or the livestock improvement lady, who accidentally came to our farm to look at our contract mate cows. And then she said, "Why don't you join the New Zealand Dairy Industry Award?" I said, "I'm not up to it." "No, no, you can join. You can learn. You learn a lot." And that was 3 years ago. So, uh, 3 years passed. I said, like I didn't mind. Like it's just like it's for me. It's just like a short talk or something like that. But and then suddenly there's this newspaper like advertising it, like, "Oh, New Zealand." And then I asked, why won't I? And then I told myself, why won't I join it? So I mentioned it to my wife, and then she said, "Why won't you just give it a try?"
Yeah.
And then and then I decided for like 3 months before joining it. Like I joined for on the last minute, like, because my what I'm asking myself, like, what is my purpose of joining,
Mhm.
of doing something, because I really don't have an idea about it. So I asked myself, what's my purpose? So I answered it like, okay, my purpose is to know if I'm capable or not. This might be a good, test,
Mhm.
because of course it's the best of the best all over New Zealand. So
Yeah.
let's try it. I'm a manager anyway, so let's try it. So yeah, I, I joined the last minute, like basically the last hour of submission. I joined, and then yeah, on the rest is history. I didn't expect that I'm gonna win it all, because it's very very hard.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like I'm a first timer, basically, and I joined in the most difficult. They say it's the most difficult region because it's Waikato,
Yeah.
wherein there are a lot of dairy farmers, good dairy farmers, and a lot of entrants. So, and I'm a first timer, and I joined late. Most of
Mhm.
them, when I went to the gathering for introduction and stuff. So I went there. Like, it was intimidating because they all know each other, and I'm the only one who doesn't know anyone there.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
they're name dropping that they're
Mhm.
the boss
I
or
think,
their owners.
Chris, I think it's meant to be. So you've defied all the barriers, the challenges in relation to that award, but you've bested them all. So that means it's really for you. So what are the expectations now that you have the award? What's in it for you to maintain, or did they say that you have something that just like when you win Miss Universe, you have
Yes, it's
your
kind of
reign.
like that.
What are you going to do during your reign?
It's
Something
kind
like
of like that because we are considered as the ambassador of the industry for the year.
yeah.
So right now I'm the head of the industry awards in the region to help in, in doing in the next awards for 2022.
Okay, so you
So
have
I'm
special
the head.
projects. You're doing projects or leading certain
Yeah,
initiatives.
I'll be leading the managerial side and be leading the contestants and everything. But basically, we are promoting the good farming of or the way New Zealand farms, because
Yeah.
basically we just didn't win it like you're the winner, but we it's a long process. So it took me 6 months preparing for few presentations and stuff, and then before I won it. So basically, you are the face of the industry. So
That's right.
so all lahat, ibig ko sabihin lahat ng galaw mo tinitingnan, kumbaga. Kaya
Yes, yes,
kailangan
yes, yes, yes.
kailangan talaga be a role model to everyone. But yeah,
And I
ganun.
think,
Hindi.
Chris, the nice thing about what you're doing is that you are elevating the status of farming. So farming is not an easy job. So
It's not.
it really brings down to the point that farmers are still important in not just in the economy but in the social fabric of society. Everything that we do comes from the land. So kailangan talaga yung mga katulad nyo, you're really like doing this interview, it could be an alien concept for some people, but you're
Yeah.
advocating as well by helping spread the word about what you do.
Um,
Helps your cause.
one of my my goal also that I've realized lately that because of my experiences being a migrant and being a Filipino, and not only for the Filipinos, but all the migrants, like in New Zealand there are a lot of good working Filipinos who are out there, who are being adored by their owners, but they don't have the guts to join.
Mm.
Why? And I don't like the feeling that people are looking like us as just like a worker.
Mm-hmm.
We are not just worker, we can do something else too. We are capable of doing something else. So that inspired me most to do the best I can, so I can lift the Filipinos up, and hopefully they start to join in, because
Mm.
joining in gives you the benefit, like that we are basically don't have. It's the network. Is in New Zealand dairy farming, it is very important you have the good network, because
Mm.
having the good network leads you to good jobs, leads to good employers, and leads you to good opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted, like Filipinos and other migrants can other migrants can realize that um it, like us migrants, we're already behind because we don't have a network. Me, I
Mm.
went here, did my job, um got where I am right now, without having network and mentors. And this platform gives you both. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you networks, gives you mentor, and it gives you the special bond in the dairy industry,
Mm-hmm.
wherein you can get, not it's like respect, or they know that you are capable, that
Yeah.
you know something
Yeah.
about your craft.
That's good. That's
So
why I said
it's
you
that's
are in
very
a good
important, I
position,
think.
Chris. Yeah, you are in a good position to be the face of it and to represent migrants in general and to lift the face of more opportunities for Filipinos. Maiba lang tayo ng konti. What is the situation about Filipinos coming to New Zealand as dairy farm workers? Marami pa ba? May influx pa ba? Despite COVID or pre-COVID, is it still a lucrative career? Kasi in most recent times, bago ako nag-move sa Australia, most of the people that are moving to New Zealand are part of the Christchurch rebuilding program, mga carpenters, mga builders. What about yung mga dairy people? Marami pa ba? Is it still a lucrative pathway for skilled migrants?
Madam, actually, the federated farmers or most Filipinos or most owners like working like Filipino workers kasi they know they are hard work, they are loyal, they can, less complaints and everything. But of course you can hear those negativities too, wherein we can avoid that. And then yeah, as of pathways, marami pa pong dumarating eh. Pero syempre yung expectations nila parang sa atin nung dumating tayo hindi ganun kadali. Yan ang totoo. It's not that easy, that you really need, to persevere. If you you really need to do something different for you to succeed or to achieve your goal. But first and foremost, you need to have a goal.
Yeah.
Most people that I've seen, even I was talking, if you know Paulo, si dating MP, si Paulo.
Yeah. So I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't exactly remember his last name. So what is it about? What is it about him that you remember?
Yeah, because I talked to him. He went to my house and then and he asked me personally, what do you think is wrong with other Filipinos? Why are they just sticking like what they are? Think I said, are you sure you wanna talk to me about it? Because I have different view. Like a lot of people might get angry to me of saying what, not generalizing them, but knowing, what's wrong. Because for us it's our culture that masakit eh. Alam mo yun. Pero yun ang totoo, yun ang kailangan natin. That's what I told Paulo and he agreed to me. I said, a lot of us came here knowing to have a better life.
Yeah.
But most of us are just looking for money, which is wrong. You're here not just because of money, but because of life.
Yes.
To have a better life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Sometimes you need to sacrifice money to achieve your goal.
That's
It's not all about money, but it's about your goal. You need to sacrifice yourself in a long term to achieve this goal, that money will come to you.
Yes.
You know, it is, and some people, dito mataas, dito ganito ang ginagawa namin, ganito, ganyan. Mas mataas ang sahod dito. Sige, lipat ako dyan. But, what about your career progression? What about your goal? Hindi lahat. It's not everything about money. It's about what you want in life.
Yeah.
Kaya,
So, alam mo, Chris,
kay Paulo.
ang ganda talaga ng sinabi mo kasi parang yan na yung next question ko, anong message mo sa kanila. But I will still ask you that. But the thing is, maganda yung nire-remind natin sila. It's good that you are able to share that. Na when you go abroad, sometimes it's not about money. Kami rin eh, the motivation of my family is to have a better life and to assist the family na makapag-provide. So like you said, tama yon, the way your mindset should work is you need to have a goal, and sometimes the goal is not all about the money. Pero dadating yon when you are in the right heart. Pag nasa right heart ka, nasa right mindset ka, lahat ng mga blessings na yon financial, tutuloy yon. I mean, susunod yon.
Kasi I believe you can never be successful in anything you do if you're not passionate about it.
Exactly.
So if
That's why you're my
passionate
guest. That's why you're my guest. You're passionate.
I can't say that I started farming. To tell you the truth, I have passion in it. Like because it's really, really hard. It's not an easy job. But I started to love it, because you need to realize that this is already the opportunity. So you need to take advantage of it. That's why lately I've turned myself around and saying myself, this is an opportunity, make most of it. So I did. So even now, that's my mentality. Like when I joined the Dairy Industry Awards, I realized it's an opportunity. So I knew, oh, this is how big it is. So at first I didn't know. Like, I'm just gonna try, and
Mm-hmm.
this is my goal. But
Mm-hmm.
now, lately, I realized it's an opportunity, and I won the Waikato. And then when you win the Waikato, you're a regional winner, and you can't join again because you're already a winner.
Yeah.
And then you go to the national, and that's the only opportunity you can go to the national. So I said, I need to do the best that I can for the nationals because this is my only opportunity. So those are the mindset that I took in. So, and luckily it brought me where I am. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it 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 just didn't land to me like easily, but it takes patience, hard work, and perseverance, and of course help from above,
Of course.
to join everything up for you to get what you want. So
Mm-hmm.
on those in the process of, what am I saying is, in the process of the NZDIA itself, you can apply it in your life, or
Mm-hmm.
I could have applied it in my life,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I'm practicing in my life right now. So if you keep practicing it, it becomes a habit. It's hard, but you can, you there's always a point to start
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you to do.
Alam mo, Chris, ang gaganda na lahat ng sinasabi mo. Yung mindset, have a goal, seize the opportunity, wag palampasin, be true to yourself. Yung mga sinasabi mo ng mga tips na it's not all about the money sometimes, na kaya yung impression sa mga Pinoy because of that. And you are also raising the profile of the migrant. You really deserve this award, Chris, and I'm really, really happy and
Thank you po.
and really proud of what you have achieved. And namimiss ko tuloy yung unang panahon na yung paghihirap din ng husband ko, feeling ko na nawala siya dahil sa na-achieve mo. Although walang connection na direct, no? Pero indirectly, maraming farming communities with Filipinos really feel na with your experience, talagang lahat na rin ang hirap siguro nila. Parang sulit na rin dahil sa pinakita mo na kaya talaga if you do it properly. So,
Eh,
yeah, so Chris, we're almost ending our show. So, if you were to give them an advice, okay, being the ambassador that you are now for the farming industry, ano ang advice mo sa mga farmers na Filipinos, dairy farm assistants na nandyan sa New Zealand, pati yung mga nasa Pilipinas, for example, or any other country na nagbabalak rin, they're thinking of doing the same job as you. Anong pwede mong i-share sa kanila as your final message?
as I said a while ago, like, I can only say it like, in generally about farming, but because I don't want to generalize it in life, because we have different life situations. But basically, if you want something, you need to have a goal, work 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 yourself, and to be better in your craft to achieve that goal. And then everything is there's no easy way. It's always the hard way. If
Mm,
you do it right, you do it the hard way, you learn from your mistakes, and value yourself, and then and as soon as the opportunity comes, grab it and make most of it. I think that's that's
that's the
that's
gist.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the key
yeah,
for it.
that's the key.
Kasi I always tell people, like, they always tell me, oh, how much is your, sweldo, ganito. I said, to tell you frankly, I started in New Zealand, working for dairy farm, like, at $29,000 a year. And I didn't, like, It was really hard. It's a
Mm.
budgeted salary. But if you realize that you value yourself, you value when the company start valuing you,
Mm.
then the money will always come because the company wants to keep you.
Yeah.
So it's very important. So
Mhm.
it's not all about money. It's about yourself first, and then do the best things you can, and then hopefully the blessings will come.
Yeah, that's right. Chris, thank you so much for the time that you spent with Samot
Thank you po.
City, and thank you din sa pag-inspire mo. I'm sure your wife and your kid are so proud of you. Especially your wife, siguro tumutulo pa ang kanyang luha nung nakamit mo yung award, because I will be as excited as she would be sa nakamit mo. And Chris, just in case there are people na gusto mag-contact sa iyo, is it okay that I pass on your details to them?
It's
Like your
alright.
email, or basta through Sakutsari, pwede ka nilang makontak just in case may mga tanong pa sila or meron silang
Sige.
gustong malaman. So thank you
It's alright.
for allowing that to happen. So I'm gonna end the show now, Chris. So thank you everybody for listening to our show for today. If you have any other stories or topics that you wish to feature in the show, please reach out to Samutsari Podcast at gmail.com. Samutsari is a member of the Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate. You can also reach out to me through Facebook, through Twitter, and of course, through the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and to the other shows of Samutsari. Thank you, Chris. God
Thank you
bless
po.
you. Continue to
Thank you din.
inspire us and continue to
I
do
hope so.
well in New Zealand. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If you find value in this episode, make sure you like and subscribe to be notified of new releases. If you have any questions or suggestions, please reach out to Gorilla Podcast or send us an email at mimi@dinosocial.com. Spread the word and don't forget to tune in next time.